was treasure buried in a field, something more valuable than anything. Figure out a way to buy that land, so we could hold the treasure in our hand. If we heard about a special pearl with more than any other in the world, we might sell all we had and buy a boat, so we could give that pearl a brand new home. For there's no treasure greater than to know our God and Savior. Ready, set, go. Seeking you is the adventure of a lifetime. You're better than and any other treasure. You are worth it all. Even if we have to lose our lives to find you, you are the God we want to know. Ready, set, go. Look for you, we'll come to find that you were calling to us all the time. You sent your son so he could set us free, to love and follow you eternally. For there's no treasure greater than to know our God and Savior. Ready, set, there's no treasure greater than to know our God and Savior. Ready, set, go. Seeking you is the adventure of a lifetime. You're better than and any other treasure. You are worth it all. We want to know. Ready, set, go. Oh, 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 oh. Ready, set, go. Oh, 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 oh. Ready, set, go. Oh, 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 oh. Ready, set, go. Oh, 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 oh. Ready, set, go!
This is his 66 picks mixed up into one. The book's about God, who he is and what he's done. It's the Holy Bible, y'all, with God's truth packed out inside. It's alive, a prize to hide in your heart and in your mind. Old Testament's a setup for the big event, when Jesus crashed the scene with a new arrangement. It's history, his story, whose story, God's story. Oh, the story of how much he loves me. Let it blow up all the pages, let the show go live. Let his word explode from this video into your life.
Stories of the Bible. Adam and Eve's sin. This is Adam.
Hey.
And this is Eve.
Hi!
Who were the first people on earth. They lived in the Garden of Eden, which was a beautiful place that had everything they needed. Adam and Eve took care of the animals and could eat from any of the trees in the garden, except for one. This was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and God told them not to eat from this tree. There were lots of animals in the garden, but the serpent was the most clever of all the wild animals God had made. One day, he asked the woman,
Hey, Eve.
"Did God really say you must not eat the fruit from any of these trees in the garden?"
No?
Eve said that they were able to eat from all of the fruit trees except the fruit from the tree in the middle of the garden. For God said, "You must not eat or even touch it. If you do, you will die."
No, that can't be.
"You won't die," said the serpent. "God knows that as soon as you eat it, you will be like God, knowing both good and evil."
Oh!
The woman was convinced. She saw that the tree was beautiful and its fruit looked delicious, and she wanted the wisdom it would give her. So she took some of the fruit and ate it. Then she gave some to Adam, and he ate it too. At that moment, their eyes were opened,
Oh, no.
and they suddenly realized they weren't wearing clothes and were embarrassed. So they sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves. When the cool evening breezes were blowing, Adam and Eve heard God walking about in the garden.
Hide.
So they hid from God among the trees. Then God called to Adam, "Where are you?" Adam said, "I heard you walking in the garden, so I hid. I was afraid because I was naked." "Who told you that you were naked?" God asked. "Did you eat from the tree I told you not to eat from?" Adam said, "It was the woman you gave me who gave me the fruit, and I ate it." Then God asked Eve, "What have you done?" "The serpent tricked me," she replied. "That's why I ate it." Then God punished the serpent by making it so he would crawl on his belly from then on. He told Eve that she would have great pain in her life. Then God said to Adam that because he listened to Eve and did not obey what God had told him to do, his life would be very difficult. He would have to work hard to get food to eat, God said, "For you were made from dust, and to dust you will return." Then God made them clothing from the animals. But God knew that Adam and Eve could no longer live in the garden because of their sin, so he sent them away and closed up the garden.
Good morning, children, and welcome to another Sunday Emmanuel Kids Church. Last week we learned that God created a perfect world for us, and that He created us in His image, and that our job is to take care of the world while He takes care of us. Now this week, we're going to learn what happened to change God's perfect world, and how one single act of rebellion can change everything. Now if you look at this picture, if you were to ruin it, spoil it, it cannot be undone if you do it really. One simple act can ruin things forever. It's a terrible thing. Now I need you to listen out for the answer for these three questions. The first question is, what rule did God make? The second is, who broke that rule? And the third is, what happened because they broke that rule? So listen to the story to see if you can answer those questions. Now this is Adam and Eve, and God said to them they can eat from any tree in the garden except for this tree, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. He warned them that if they ate from this tree it would lead to their death. But Satan wanted to tempt Eve, and he said to her, "Can you really not eat from any of the trees?" And she explained, "No, they can eat fruit from any trees, they just mustn't touch this tree." So he said, "What would happen?" And she said it would lead to their death. And Satan said, "You won't die. You'll just be more like God." And Eve looked at the fruit and she thought to herself, those look delicious. And I would like to be more like God, make my own rules, be in charge. So they ate the fruit from the tree of good and evil, of knowledge of good and evil. And they disobeyed the one rule that God had given them because they thought they knew better. And they immediately felt shameful. They hid from God and they were judged. And they had to leave the Garden of Eden. And because of this, they had to work hard, really hard, their whole life. And they would eventually die. So, like Adam and Eve, we all disobey God. We all fall short of the glory of God. But sometimes doing the wrong thing looks like it could be fun, but ultimately it hurts us and those around us.
We are going to do the memory verse quickly. Okay, Reeve, you ready? Okay, so it is, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Romans 3 verse 23. Ready to do it? Okay, 1, 2, 3. For all, you've got to say it, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Romans 3 verse 23. Cool, well done.
Craft for this weekend, let me put it the right way up, is a snake. Moms, if you can help them cut it out, once they've coloured it in, they must colour in everything and then help them cut it out. The body, these 3 pictures, and the tail and the tongue. And then you must glue the images in sequence in the same direction as the angel and then help them glue it together in a fan shape. Okay, let's get started. So here is our snake. Ta-da! Okay, and all the resources and information will be emailed, sent on after the lesson. If we can just pray. Thank you. Father, forgive us for all the naughty things that we do, and thank you for loving us so much that you sent your son Jesus to take our punishment. Help us to love you more and obey you better this coming week. In the precious name of Jesus.